cover issues related to the Department of Defense's use of force in war on terror. This will include targeted killings and the use of drones. This hearing explores the matter that affect our armed services and our safety as Americans. These are important issues, and there are issues that are more appropriate to the Senate Armed Services Committee. Now, if the chairman knew what I was doing in the 1980s before he got here, he'd say, "Here, here, you did a lot of investigation of the Defense Department leading to the passage of the False Claims Act." So I am being a little inconsistent with what I just said. But there are, I want people to know what?
It's the first time.
Oh, okay, thank you. There are things within the heart of our jurisdiction that we should be holding hearings on. And I know that the chairman and I and many members of this committee are concerned with the growing spike in violent crime, including murders and attacks on police. The administration has acknowledged that violent crime is up and has unhelpfully tried to pivot to gun control as the only response. The top priorities of the administration and the Justice Department will include targeting legal gun sellers with no evidence that they significantly contribute to illegal gun possessions or crimes. Ghost guns form a significant cornerstone of the president's policies, but ghost guns are connected to a fraction of a percent of the murders that are occurring in this country. The president's strategy is woefully inadequate to address the spikes in murders and police attacks. It will do nothing to stop people from being pushed into the front of a subway train or to stop trains from being looted or stopping storefronts from being smashed by flash mob attacks or the many other terrible crimes that we're seeing and even seeing them on television. We need a more serious policy. Over 21,000 people were murdered in the United States 2020, 5,000 more than the year before. A hearing would provide crucial oversight and may even help save lives. But the order of the day by the majority is drones. We all believe in limiting civilian casualties as much as possible, but I hope we also acknowledge that we must achieve military objectives as well as protect civilians. We must use methods of fighting wars that reduce the danger and risk to service members. The Biden administration just last week used a targeted operation in Syria to kill a leader of ISIS. That ISIS leader was responsible for an attack on a Kurdish-run prison that killed 500. This attack might not have happened had ISIS been struck earlier. It's what President Abraham Lincoln once called the quote-unquote awful arithmetic of war. Our service members take military action to save the lives of others. Today, we're going to hear from experts, at least from our side, about the importance of maintaining counterterrorism tools of drone strikes. I have received a number of materials from veterans, experts in the law of conflict, and scholars on the importance of maintaining these carefully planned strikes. And without objection, Mr. Chairman, I'll submit those for the record.
Without objection.
Drone strikes may become even more necessary after President Biden's disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. Members of his own administration have testified that a stronger ISIS or Al-Qaeda could launch external attacks from Afghanistan as soon as April of this year. With a loss of intelligence on the ground, strikes and terrorists may be necessary, but I fear that they will also be less efficient. Drones can certainly be very dangerous. They even present a real threat here in the United States. Day after day, we read about drones being used to smuggle drugs across the border. They're used to smuggle contraband into prisons. One would-be Al-Qaeda operative even attempted to attack the Capitol and the Pentagon with weaponized aircraft across the border into Mexico. One cartel moved to assassinate members of a rival cartel with weaponized drones. Both the Trump and Biden administrations have asked Congress to help them by criminalizing dangerous use of drones here in the United States. Both administrations approved very similar legislation drafted by experts from across the executive branch. Senators Kelly, Cassidy, and this senator have responded by introducing this legislation, improved by broad consultation with stakeholders in the Drone Act of 2022. I hope that this committee will swiftly take action on this legislation, and I welcome members to join the three of us in co-sponsorship.